What's up, everyone? The Vibe Kage here. It is now time for the other part because I was gonna do both eventually. What if Deku was trained by the Vibe Kage? You see it right. That's Shinobi Sekre that I will explain later in the what if. Now let us go as Deku had just been told he is quirkless. My poor little bastard of a friend, as you know, it would be that same car ride when Inko, she pulls into the gas station. Little Deku, you know, she asks if he wants anything. He was just kind of quiet when, a villain attack would happen and Inko, she gets hold up. Deku would rush in. He would tell the villain to stop when I decide to, open a portal, stop time, dispatch of said villain with a simple Hakai. Time restarts as villain's gone. I show up. Everyone's just like, what the fuck? I'm like, long story short, hero. I'm lying to them, but they don't doubt me. As, where'd the villain go? Teleportation. I switched places. I was just kind of outside. So where is he? He's out cold. What else did you do? Don't worry about my hero powers. Just, I go like, but we should, like, I'm off duty, so it's fine. As then, I look at Inko. I snap my fingers as the people in the store kind of fall asleep. She's, clearly unsettled as I then tell her the truth. I come from the future. Yet again, I'm lying to her, but still, she don't know this. As I explain to her, her son Deku. See, although I do come from the future, I come from a future where Deku was the linchpin of an essential mission that, in order to save One for All. She's going like, what's One for All? One All Might's, power. He ended up being Deku's successor, but due to some betrayalment and fucked upness, Deku had given the quirk to Bakugo, and Bakugo actually would proceed to shoot a hole through All Might's chest and put Deku in a state of near death. She's just like, why would Bakugo do this? Bakugo actually was taken over by someone else. I'm here to prevent this by training Deku. Granted, this will cause a huge shift in the timeline, and once the training I have with Deku is done, I will disappear. Inko does not believe me until I show her a fake illusion world of said future, and it hurt her to see what had happened, and so she believes me. She lets me train Deku. So, we get home. Deku was confused on why I kind of followed along, but it was just the simple premise of Inko had asked me to train him because Inko's lying to Izuku in this case, but Inko wants Izuku to follow his dream to be a hero. But Izuku's surprised that his mom would believe in him. Inko, huge difference than our canon timeline. She would kneel down, give Izuku a kiss on the cheek kiss on the forehead as she says, I believe in you, Izuku. You're going to be a greater hero than All Might. Way more powerful. And he can make sure of it. As Izuku looks at me kind of weirdly, as I smile and wave at the little guy, as, he asks how long we're going to be gone. I tell him, not as long as you think. While I will only be training you for about 3 years, the rest of the training you can do here. You're still going to go to UA. Really? You think I can get to UA? Well, by the time I'm done with you, you're not going to need a quirk. Really? Yeah, there are powers that exist outside of this realm. Huh? I will explain later. As, we do a time skip. It's been 1 month. Deku, he has, gotten accustomed to my tree world. He's confused on how it was, as, he sees some Pokemon he finds interesting. He bonded with a Magikarp, which I thought was kind of weird, but Deku thought, it looked really cool. When it turned into a Gyarados, he kind of got sad because he can't really now keep it. However, I did tell Deku if he ever needs it, just let me know, and I can hook him up. which will come into effect later. As anyway, Deku now knows that I lied to his mom. I'm actually the Vibe Kage. I'm here to train him because I want to give him a better outlook than what had previously been set up for him. I had seen the future for him, and I decided, yeah, fuck all that noise. I want to train you. Why? Because I like you, my boy. You seem good. I trained someone else. His name was Naruto. Can I meet him? Maybe. We'll see how your training goes. And after I'm done training you, I have to go check on some other shit. And then I would have to go visit him. I don't know how he's doing, but I did feel a disturbance one day, and I couldn't. I just don't know why. I feel like I should be there, but I got shit to do. Anyway, Deku, I am here to train you. Now, Deku would drink the same juice flask, and he would fall for the same prank as Naruto did, where I told him, "You're gonna shit out your brains." Yeah! He does a huge burp, and, well, yeah. I opened the soda. So, yes. See, like that. Deku did that rather than shit out his brains like he thought he was going to. Which, he looked at me, scowling like, "Bro, the fuck? I am a child." And I'm like, "Bro, I too am traumatized. I too was traumatized as a child. It's how we grow. Don't worry. It's just a playful prank. You're gonna have your fun with other friends." As, he nods. As 3 years go by, Deku is now 7. I have bestowed upon him a unique karma seal that I kind of made out of remaining Otsutsuki chakra with a few other alien races to help embed this special power into Deku. But the karma seal is on his forehead. However, within that is also 2 special forces from the DC universe. Now, one is the Sage Force, to help heighten Deku's level of intelligence. At first I did think of, me and him did talk about the whole strength and the speed force, but I told him, since he's more intellectual, I believe we'll boost that with the force, and then the life force. If you don't know what the life force is, this is what was in the trident for Poseidon. Poseidon's power, as it's for the Atlanteans, pretty much Aquaman. You know my guy, Aquaman? That's the life force. His eyes would glow yellow, the communication with water and sea animals. Yeah, Deku has that too. It's the voice of all things, in a sense, because I was surprised how he got that. Anyway, Deku's special jutsu, not really jutsu, but he does have dimension/spatial manipulation, energy manipulation and absorption, and 2 other things that I'll get into later, as his Gyarados will make guest appearances every now and then, but that's for later. For you see, now we go into the story. Izuku returns to his mama Inko. His mother's confused on why Deku has a purple rhombus on his forehead until he explains this is the Vibe Kage's symbol of approval, like where, I mastered his training. He would then show off how it glows purple. His hands glow purple after that too, as then he shows telekinetic abilities, his telekinesis, his ability to read her mind, and to her surprise, gravity manipulation. He made things weightless. Everything, the whole house could be weightless. Or just multiply the gravity on a certain object and make it heavier. Rather than just basic telekinesis, which he did explain there is a difference. See, now that time that wasn't planned, so excuse me. There it goes again. Now, Sekre would be the ship, in case y'all are wondering. Um, Continuing on with the what if as, then we have the time skip of 7 years. Deku is 14. I am very proud to announce that he has mastered every single trick that I have told him and came up with a few ones of his own that I did not think he could, that I'm surprised to announce later on this story. As Deku, he goes on in his UA entrance exam. Him and Bakugo, don't really talk to each other. You know, Bakugo had heard Deku disappear, and then he came back after 3 years. And then after that, the next 7 years, Deku didn't really talk to him. He stayed to himself. He did find this one cool little tea shop just outside of Hosu City. So he has to visit there every now and then. He ends up jogging there to prove, his working regimen is intact. For there you see, he met this, like I said, a tea shop. It's a family own one. It's called the Ray Cafe. Yes, Tokyo Ray from. So, I was gonna say on Teku, but I feel like that would have been too on the nose. As there you have two individuals who run the shop named Ken Kaneki and Toga. I hold up. Ken Kaneki. Ken. So it would be Toga. Hold up. So yeah, no, Toka Kaneki and Ken Kaneki. My bad. I was about to say, wait, is Ken the last name or is Kaneki the last name? No. It's Ken first name, Kaneki the last name. At first, yeah, I was on the fence. So yes, it's Sekre Kaneki. So yeah, she has sealing quirk, or think of sealing magic and all the things she could do with it. She too is going to UA. Deku and her actually just bonded over their love of cannolis and chocolates, and Deku couldn't help but be attracted to her and her legs. Deku is a leg man, my guy. I was surprised. I was more of a, tall girl, big ass guy. But Deku liked what he likes, so he likes legs. Anyway, him and Sekre would go to the UA entrance exam. They would actually be in the same testing grounds, which makes them smile. So, when the two actually go to meet one another, like they're about to walk towards another, Ida would cut in between them and saying, "You there! Don't you dare interrupt with this person!" And Deku's just like, "Hey, my guy. You're Ingenium's little brother. Do me a favor. Tell your brother hi. But I know her." As then Sekre would, seal Ida's legs when she tapped him on the shoulder. As he tried to turn, but since his legs wouldn't twist, he twists and then he falls onto the ground. As Sekre has a little chuckle at his expense as, she jumps over him. Deku and her walk away holding hands. As 5 seconds later, Ida's leg, I was about to say, Deku's legs unlock, but no, it's Ida's legs unlock. As, he looks at the two, he's just like, "Oh, fuck you both. Oh, fuck you both. I hate you both." As, we now have a time skip. I'm going to just tell you, Izuku got the highest score at 500 points, Sekira at 300, everyone else at their normal score. Uraraka, her hero points came from saving other students, not saving Deku. In this one, I'm just have it where she came in more clutch using her quirk. That's why she couldn't use the rubble. She was too exhausted already. So, yeah. Sekiro would freeze, seal the whole machine, the zero pointer's movements. Well, my boy Deku would use gravity manipulation. Create a tiny, and I do mean a tiny point of gravity where it would pull in everything, thus causing the zero pointer to implode in itself into a small marble-esque condensed metal clump that once it fell into the ground, it created a huge crater. Everyone's just like, "The fuck?" As then, while Deku's hands are still glowing, this strange purple aura that surprises everyone. Sakura actually kind of finds it cute because she loves the color purple as it starts to float up and Deku's just holding it, tossing it up in the air casually. It's roughly the size of a baseball. As, he decides, why not? As he says something that, I told him, Hakai, as he tosses it up into the air, as then it glows into purple light and turns into stardust, disappearing forever, as Sekiro calls him a show-off, as, the two walk away. Urakashi was out of the rubble, and Deke, the ship name for Deku and Sekiro, Deke, as Sekiro had, used her healing seal to seal all the damage done to Uraka's ankle. Which, if you call bullshit, she was able to do that to Asta and then reseal a severed arm, so no. Sealing magic, my guy. It can heal. So, yes. Sealing fatigue, too, so yes. Anyway. We time skip. Sekiro and Izuku, I was about to say Asta, my bad. As Sekiro and Izuku, they got their acceptance letters. They're at the top of the top. They are the power couple of UA's first years. Because, well, when they enter, it was pretty obvious that they were, dating. They're still holding hands. They sit right next to each other. They eat lunch together. Now, when Aizawa does the whole test your strength with a quirk application, Deku, he gets first place, obviously. No one would get kicked out because, Aizawa would still kind of say, it was all a deception. But only because, I'm going to just have it where Aizawa's a bit more chill. He's curious about Deku because, so, as strange as it is, Deku did update his quirk registry form, and it is called spatial manipulation. That's all he put down. People would see the purple rhombus and then see how his hand glows. But there's more to it. He's keeping it a secret. But Aizawa's just like, there's more to it, isn't there? I have no idea what you mean. So, due to the fact that Deku can manipulate all forms of space, pressure, he explains that gravity is within the space that he can control, so by extension he manipulates gravity too. It's just a sub thing. It was a hard stretch for Aizawa, but yeah. That's how he was able to claim everything, since if he can move different ways. Even his speed was surprising, since, well, he said he made himself zero gravity, and then he accelerated the weight of gravity going to that direction. So, it's really strange. Everyone's just like, so you're just moving the space around things and accelerating the gravity? Yes. That sounds really complicated. Well, it is a complicated quirk. And it just appeared one day? Absolutely not. Huh? I have to awaken it. How? By going into a nexus of the void. What? It's a long story. You have to go into this jungle as I was hearing this and he's just like, yo, Izuku, yeah? Can you stop bullshitting them? Okay. As Izuku has a smile, as they're all looking at him like, you were lying? Obviously. As, they're all curious as fuck on how Deku has his power, but Deku will just troll them every single way, every single step of the way. But here's where one thing does change. After a while of questioning, Sekiro would be the one to seal people's mouths shut, as she doesn't like when people spend time around Izuku. As, yeah, she's gonna have a slight yandere personality, but just ever so slightly, just a tiny bit. Deku reels it in every single time because he finds it adorable. because he just sees it as her being jealous, which he finds ultimately adorable. And he loves her pouty face. Pouty face is his favorite. Now, hey, that one lit. As we now do the heroes versus villains fight because, yeah, Deku, he got trained by me, guy. Of course, he's going to be in first place. So rather than Uraraka being in Deku's team, it'll be Sekiri. Now, who's not in class 1A for Sekiri to be in? Invisible Girl, dude. I like either Invisible Girl or Mineta. So in this one, I chose Invisible Girl because Mineta would be comic relief for this a lot of the time. So anyway, continuing with the what if as, yeah, Sekiri, Deku versus Bakugo and Ida, which ends very, very badly. For you see, when Bakugo would try and fight Deku, due to him thinking Deku was hiding his quirk all this time, Deku would look at him and say, well, the reason why I had to disappear after my quirk examination was because my quirk was so dangerous. See, since he never went to school and was told what his quirk, told his classmates he was quirkless, Inko straight up said his ability is going to be, needing to be looked over by a professional, since it was dormant at the time. But yeah, because it requires such focus to do. So, while Bakugo would try and launch his explosions, Deku would easily just stick out his hand and cause all the force to go right back at him. Now, he would be pissed. Of course, Deku has to restrain himself right now since he's being watched, but he decides to have fun with it, as he then points to his forehead, as he then says his real quirk is within here. As Bakugo and All Might are curious at what he means. Sekiri already knows because, well, he told Sekiri. He thinks I'll be mad, but I just don't care. I'm proud of my boy got a girlfriend, so, hey, good job, Deku. It's almost like I wrote it for you. Anyway, Izuku would then explain there is more than just spatial manipulation, gravity manipulation, as Izuku then punches forward as a purple portal would appear right before him, as then a purple portal appears right below Bakugo's chin, causing an uppercut to hit him just straight locking him up. Izuku then pulls back his fist as he then punches the ground, as yet again another purple portal appears, hitting Bakugo on the side of the skull, causing him to crash into the wall. But right before he crashes into the wall, a giant purple portal would open up as he falls through it, as Deku does a spin kick where his heel falls right where Bakugo's head comes out of a portal, sending him flying again, as Sekiri is just like, whoa, that's new, as, Deku winks at her, he's saying, makes easier access to getting to your room later, as she blushes, and she goes, Deku, slaps him, as he's saying, relax, as he sticks out his hand as a purple portal opens, as he's saying, right there, it should be right behind the bomb, just go in and touch it, as, Sekiri's saying, if you say that's what she said, I swear I'm gonna hit you, as Deku's saying, nah, it's okay, just get in the hole. Sekiri scowls at Deku as he just gives her a cheeky smile. And as she just goes through, she touches the portal, and Ida's just like, wait, what? As he then turns around as, he hears All Might say Hero Team wins, but he doesn't see anything until he turns around. And then Sekiri is just right there touching the bomb. He sees a purple portal, and he's just like, the fuck? As, a purple portal opens beneath the floor where Ida, Sekiri, and Bakugo are at, as they're all teleported back to the analyzing room as Izuku's there. All Might's looking at Izuku just like, yo, who the fuck is this kid? As, Izuku's just saying, there, I saved us some trouble. As he looks at Sekiri, and he asks Sekiri if she could, attend to Bakugo. She's just saying, why? As Deku opens a portal yet again, something falls out. As it's a box, which he then walks over. He opens, and it's a pair of swallowtail birds' earrings, two blue ones. As she smells, and she's saying, "Bluebird, blue swallowbirds." As he's saying, I know your favorite song is Bluebird, you Naruto weeb." As she blushes, as she's saying, "But it's a good anime." Deku just nods as he's saying, "Yeah, now here, Bluebird earrings." As she smiles, she takes the box. As she goes over to Bakugo, who's promptly knocked the fuck out, places a hand as he glows blue for a minute, as the damage is sealed, but he's still going to be out cold just for a little bit. As we now go to All Might asking the class, how did everyone do? Well, clearly Deku was the MVP. He kind of didn't let anyone do anything. And Deku just casually says, when you're as strong as me and you have a simple mission, you know, these are supposed to be done, like, for newbies. I ain't at a newbie level, clearly. As he looks at All Might, as he's saying, I don't know, I think it would have been much more efficient if it wasn't a simple capture the bomb and actual just combat. As All Might saying, that's a bit advanced, as Deku saying, well, the guy who trained me kind of just trained me for 3 years on pure combat, so I kind of know how to fight, and I am supposed to fight. So, yeah, this was just kind of pointless. So sorry that I didn't get to let anyone do anything, but this was just too easy. As the whole class kind of, looks at Deku like, yo, what the fuck? As, Deku just shrugs his shoulders as he just places an arm around Sekre. As, the two just casually sit down. Now, in case you're wondering what they sit on. Well, Sekre's sitting on Deku's lap and Deku's sitting on the air. How's he sitting in the air? He can float, my guy. Karma. As, All Might saying, don't you think that's a bit inappropriate? As Deku's saying, what? She has pants on. I have pants on. You're right here. Like, legit. I might be a bold motherfucker, but I'm not going to fuck my girlfriend in front of my classroom and teacher while in class. Now, if it was at the school hours, I would have to charge you guys to watch. As everyone's just like, what the fuck? As Mineta's just like, huh? As Izuku looks at him saying, it's a joke and I will crush your balls in half. As, his hand is not oozing, but radiating the purple aura. As Mineta's just like, I am sorry, I back away. As he retreats back into the shadow, as, Momo's just like, why is he my partner? As Izuku just shrugs his shoulders. Izuku's just like, sorry, not sorry. It is what it is, though. As, Momo scowls at him, and he's saying, what? It's just what my sensei says a lot. When shit don't go your way, it is what it is. As, they're all like, who was your master? He goes by the epitaph of Vibe Kage. You guys don't need to know his name. As they're like, Vibe Kage, who the fuck is that? As Deku just looks at them, and he's saying, someone stronger than All Might. As All Might just looks at him and saying, oh ho, and how so? As Deku just shrugs his shoulders and he's saying, well, he just is. As Deku points to All Might's injury, as he's saying he knows about that. As All Might's sweat drops, he's like, what do you mean? As, Deku using the Sage Force would tell All Might he knows about the injury, but then Deku would, tell the whole class, he knows about your tattoo. As All Might's just like, dear God, who is this Vibe Kage bastard? As Deku just tells him, yeah, no. Multiverse. What? Yeah, since you got confused, you're already out of the league. As All Might saying, huh, if you say so. As Izuku just tells him, bro, he can kill you off in this story. don't fuck with him. All Might does not believe it, so I'm gonna have to do him dirty. As you know, we do a timescape since the other battles kind of play out as normal. So now when the USJ happens and All Might would appear, everything would happen with the slight difference of All Might actually going there. You know, he's there as the Small Might form, as he's saying he is a special guest from the Hero Commissioner, rather than, Toshinari Yagi, a special Hero Commissioner, here to, explain. He's not a hero, but he works for the hero agencies, as he's here to supervise their training, as, he's giving them a nervous laugh, as Izuku just shakes his head as he's saying, should've listened to me, Vibe Kage gonna fold you somehow, as, yeah, when the purple smoke of Kurogiri shows up, Deku would notice this as he points his finger out. A blue little orb appears as it quickly shoots down and hits Kurogiri. Now, when this hit Kurogiri, the portal instantly stopped, as from the perspective of the League of Villains, Kurogiri's, sticks out his hand as purple smoke is forming, as then he pulls back his hand, yelling in pain as blood is coming out of the smoke. They're confused on what the fuck just happened, as Kurogiri's just like, I got shot. But how? As everyone's looking at Izuku, what just happened? As he looks at them, and he's telling them, run. Just run. As he's casually walking down the steps, as, yet again, the purple smoke appears. Deku would slice his hand through the air, as then a, purple line would shoot out, cutting Kurogiri as yet again. But this time he keeps the portal open, but, back in the League of Villains HQ, they see the slash attack come out of the smoke and attack 3 people, killing them instantly. Deku does not know about this, but he doesn't really care, because he don't know. Now, everyone's just like, the fuck? As, this time, while it does damage Kurogiri, it is going through his portal. Not cutting through the dimensions, but going through it. So, yeah. Anyway. So, the League of Villains would still kind of emerge. This time hesitantly. But when they see Deku just standing there at the bottom of the staircase, they're like, oh, where were we? As Deku with a single snap would cause the gravity to multiply by 10, causing them to instantly go to the ground, crushed by the pressure. Not dead, but knocked out right away. As, yeah, your blood leaving your brain that fast is not good for your body. So, yeah, they out. They gone. As Deku would restore the gravity in almost that same instance. As, yes, the Nomu, Shigaraki, and Kurogiri are the last 3 standing. As All Might, 13, and Aizawa finally jump down, as they're like, Izuku, what are you? As he snaps his fingers as portals appear under them, and they are back at the bus with the students, as they're like, what the? Did that bastard? As All Might busts through the bus again, going through the doors, as Aizawa looks at the kids as he's saying, well, looks like Izuku's gonna be a problem child, as, he's twitching. He has a nervous tick right now, as he then goes back off. When All Might and Aizawa come back in, to their surprise, they see the Nomu casted up in the air, Kurogiri promptly lying in a mess of its own smoke, as Shigaraki is, having a tweaker moment and scratching the shit out of himself, as Izuku looks at him in disgust. So, I bet you didn't think I could manipulate gravity like this too, huh? The domain and manipulation of space itself is my bitch, dude. It was kind of fun, and a very painful thing to experience. He would, tell Shigaraki that in order for him to get a good grasp on it, I'd have to kind of brain toss his ass like Yahtzee dice. As Shigaraki looks at Izuku with concern, So he asks him, "Is your master insane?" He kinda. He doesn't like making sense of things. He said making sense of the universe is what drove him to madness. Oh well, I don't need to make sense of the universe to enjoy being a hero. As Shigaraki scoffs at this, as he gives him the whole speech about how hero society is disrupted and corrupted, how they forsaken him as a child, about his grandmother and everything. As Izuku asks him, so, no, he wouldn't tell him about his grandmother. He would just tell him about he was forsaken. Izuku would ask him more about it, as Shigaraki would tell him, enough, that's none of your concern. As Izuku would use the Sage Force to force the memories back into Tomura's mind. Now, granted, I know what this is going to cause to happen, and Deku don't know this, but hear me out. So Deku force opens Tomura's memories. So Tomura sees Tenko as... he sees the hero Nana Shimura, and just for shits and giggles, since Deku, he's heard about Nana Shimura, he's getting first glimpse of everything that's happening. But one thing that he noticed that Shigaraki probably didn't, and I know it was never clarified, but come on, you gotta think it's true, as Deku looks at the man who, visited Shigaraki shortly before his quirk had activated, and he recognized he memorizes the white-haired figure before he disappears as... He'll know. He'll recognize it later, as Izuku would remember the voice. Then, Shigaraki would not cave in, but fall to the ground, grasping at his skull, agonizing at the pain and having the memories and what he had done, as Izuku tells him, well then, oh, wow. To think, the reason why you were bred to hate All Might. Huh. As Izuku looks at All Might with the purple diamond on his head glowing, as Izuku then sticks out his hand to All Might, scanning his memories, force pushing his way into it, as All Might feels violated at having his personal memories of his master Nana Shimura, but then he links them to, Shigaraki. Izuku then links Shigaraki's, memories with All Might's memories, so he could see Nana treating All Might, and how Nana told All Might she never had kids. Which Izuku just means that there is a missing piece to this puzzle that he'll have to, get from... He places his hand on his finger, either All for One or Gran Torino, as Izuku then looks at Kurogiri, as then his hand glows purple as he enters Kurogiri's mind, as then he just like, ooh, that's not good. As he then looks at Aizawa. Aizawa's just like, what? Don't hate me. What? Snaps his fingers as then Aizawa gains the memories of Kurogiri and what had happened and how Oboro is no longer within Kurogiri, which sends Aizawa into a similar mindset to what happened to Shigaraki, so he collapses, and the sudden realization that his friend just his friend is here. No, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. No. This is not my friend. Stop lying to me. Stop fucking with me, Izuku. As Izuku's just like, I said not to hate me, my guy. Sorry, I didn't want to show you this, but I kind of had to. I don't know if President Mike is gonna like this. As I was just like, oh, fuck, not Mike. Fuck. As, Aizawa just looks at Izuku, as he tells him, can he do anything about, him? Izuku just shakes his head saying, it's a permanent thing, he can't reverse shit like this. but he can, have where his friend's body finds peace. Aizawa would ask him to do so, as Izuku would stick out his hand. He also sticks out his other hand to the Nomu, as then he says, Hakai. As they turn into purple stardust, fading into nothingness. As, Aizawa, they're tears in his eyes. Shigaraki, he's just like, how dare you? How dare you destroy my... As, the sludge thing comes out of his mouth as, All For One yeets Tenko back into his, clutch. As, All For One did not expect this shit to happen. As All Might, he's just saying, nah! As Izuku promptly hits All For One, not All For One, but All Might in the back of the head, knocking him out. As, he carries Aizawa and All Might knocked out. As, everyone was surprised when they're like, hey, when did All Might get here with that teleporting thing? Izuku's just like, hey, don't worry about it. Hey, what happened to Toshinari Yagi? Why is he out cold? Don't worry about it. Why is Aizawa out cold? Don't worry about it. 13 looks at Izuku as just saying, what did you do? I handled shit. Where are the villains? Gone. What'd they do? Retreat. Why? They bitches. As, 13's just looking at Izuku. As Izuku's just saying, if you want to stare at me, at least take off the helmet so I can at least see you. As 13 just scoffs at this and saying, I shall not remove my hero costume. As Izuku's saying, so can we do the rescue training? Okay then. As, it got weird, but signals came back, Nezu was informed. The police still show up. They question Izuku. As All Might and Aizawa inform Nezu and Detective Sujuichi. All Might's cop friend, whatever I can't say his last name. I'll butcher it right now. As they all hear about All For One turning Oburu into the smoke villain, and how the Nomu is actually an artificial creature. He's back. He took the grandson of Nana Shimura, gave him a quirk that killed his parents, and then groomed him to hate All Might, and now, more than likely, he's trying to make it seem where Izuku fucked with his mind. So, we don't know if Shigaraki and Tomura, the fusion Shomura, as they don't know if Tomura, or Tenko if you want to call him that, could be saved at this point, since, things are going to be complicated from now on, as things get horrible, because, remember how I said he linked All Might's memories, so he does realize that the guy who visited him was the same guy who fought Nana Shimura, who was his grandma, who killed his grandma. So, he's confused on what's going on. Why did, Master fought his grandmother like that? Master, explain what is wrong with me. Why am I in so much pain? Father, mother, sister, I'm sorry. As, Shomura's twitching nervously, having mental breakdowns as they have to put him in a drug-induced coma. And, well, overall kind of pissed that Deku broke his toy. So, Tomura would unfortunately now get turned into a Nomu because of this, since he's no longer mentally stable. So, Nomification, as this does sadden him, but he smiles because he knows exactly, what quirk to give Shigaraki, as he tells the doctor to pull out the Nana corpse, which, yes, they have the Nana corpse, which it is actually not dead, but put in a state of frozen, suspended animation. Nana is not alive, nor is she dead, But the embers of One for All are still actually in there. Of course, he can't remove them or take them. However, he is able to use the genetic material of Nana and implant, the same quirks that are in her body into Shigaraki. In a sense, making Shigaraki and Nana's bodies meld into one, taking the living tissue and consciousness that would be Shigaraki and nomifying it as, yes, this Nomu would be a mindless ember of One for All. So, yeah, well, seemingly mindless. Now, that procedure would take a while, so yes, they're proceeding to liquefy and nomify Nana and inject it into Shigaraki with a few other quirks. So, yes, shit's getting real. Now, we cut back to the USJ as Sakurai and Deku are actually eating together. Deku had gone to a sushi place, gotten them some sushi, as Seke doesn't feel comfortable eating any form of chicken since she loves birds. Which Tokoyami is just looking at Deku saying, "Bro, I wish I could have met this girl before you, because she's perfect, my guy." As I know. But, hear me out. Frog Girl. Oh, Suyu? Yes. Why? Bro, you don't know what that tongue can do. Go find out. As Deku would pat Tokoyami on the shoulder, as Tokoyami would go spit some game with Suyu. Now, Bakugo would look at Deku, angry, and he would want to try and fight Deku, but he kinda can't, due to that whole snapping and distorting space thing. He remembers how his last fight got in, so he realizes he's got to train. So now we do a time skip. The USJ had been attacked. The news had covered it. Yeah, things, change with one thing. The sports festival. The sports festival will be held at Island, just because I feel like that would make the story a bit more interesting. And since my phone is at 34% and I need to charge it before I go to work at 2, I will end my what if here. Part 2. What if Deku was trained by the Vibe Kage? I know I skipped over that class representative in the USJ, breaking in, but, Deku would turn down the rep to be the class rep. He finds it boring, so Ida would take the job, and Deku voted for Ida, and so did Sakurai, so it was okay. It was okay. So, bye.